So after a number of leaks, DJI officially announced their Osmo Nano, their new action cam that is meant to rival something like Insta360 Go 3S or Go Ultra, as that's the latest model. However, kind of looking at it and seeing the design philosophy here, you can see this is kind of more akin to what the Go 3S is or the Go 3 before that. However, I do like this aspect here that you can kind of rotate the screen around as you see fit by disconnecting and reconnecting it with the bi-directional magnets that are here. We will have a whole video down the line on the channel for a comparison and video quality test. Big thumbs up for that, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to be able to get notified when that goes live. So if you're not familiar, this is DJI's new and latest portable action cam. It is a true successor to the Action 2 from years ago. This comes, as you would expect after such a lengthy delay, with a ton of upgrades. They have a new image sensor here that's 1/1.3 inches. You do have 4K 60 and 10-bit D-Log M color profile and just 10-bit color as well. I'm a huge fan. Why I love these things is Insta and now DJI are doing it right. They're not nickel and diming you. They come with everything you need accessory-wise to be able to utilize right from Jump Street. So not only does this come with a camera and the, as they're calling it, the multi-function vision dock, we'll just call it the display, but it does have a protective case, a magnetic hat clip, as well as the dual directional magnetic ball joint adapter, and of course that magnetic lanyard. And as this is obviously in DJI's ecosystem, if you have something like the Mic Mini or the Mini 2, or the Mic 2 I should say, they all work seamlessly and can pair right there. So as you can see on here, you have a 200-minute extended battery and fast charging. So 200-minute is not going to be shooting at 4K, unfortunately, and that is taken into account when it is actually mounted to the display. You have a live view remote control and swift content transfer. Osmo's audio, like we just talked about, being able to use direct microphone connection, and it is 10 meters waterproof, IPX4 rated for the display. Let's go ahead and open this baby up and take a look at everything that is in this package. So, all right, so that's interesting. Very cool way how they packaged this. You can see both pieces are together but separate at the same time. Let's go ahead and set that aside. You do have all of your quick setup guides for the DJI store and the forums if you want. Let's pluck that to the side and get into those accessories. Because unlike new iPhones when you're unboxing them, again, these come with a ton of options like we said. So let's take a look at them all. First things first, this is going to be, it looks like the hat clip or the visor mount, however you want to call it. And it does look like you can pivot it in different angles, which is nice to see. They all do use those magnetic clasps. This actually feels very well built and nice. Set that down. This is going to be that protective sleeve for the camera itself. I don't know how much I would personally be using this, but I can definitely see where it would be useful for that extra layer of protection. And you can see the magnets on the bottom and the top and the pogo pins in order to make sure you can transfer data as needed between the display and the camera. Next up is going to be that neck lanyard. And this definitely has some heft to it. It's pretty nice. I like the little ribbed look. So you can see it's showing you how exactly to face the camera on it and how the proper angles would be for it. And this is adjustable, as you can see here. You just need to kind of push through and pull, and that'll make it shorter or longer depending on how high up on your body you would like it. You do have that USB-C to USB-C cable. And then you're going to have that suction mount as the last piece in here as well. And here you go. It is that multi-angle ball joint. You can kind of angle it as you need and see fit. Quick release mounts on the side and just a basic suction clip. No way to really lock it down if needed. And then the star of the show, we'll throw this reading material and quick start guide to the side. This is going to be the display or the vision view, whatever they're calling it. For marketing terms, do not use the multi-view vision dock underwater. Dock supports IPX4 splash resistance only. So yeah, we know, don't go swimming with this. Unfortunately, this is one of the big differentiating factors between action cams and these mini Go cams. These pieces with the screen just are not meant to be submerged. It will cause damage. You do have your record button on the side, those mounts right there for quick release, and then you can obviously push the buttons to get that separated. And then the camera itself, the star of the show that we've been waiting on. Here it is. It does have a magnetic back, so you can put this on metal surfaces, which is very nice. In a pinch, if you just need an angle and you don't have a mount, that'll work. Tighten the lens protective cover before taking in water. Let's go ahead and make sure it's tight. It is. These are replaceable, which is very, very nice. And then you have your record button there, and contacts and slots may become hot during use. Avoid prolonged contact. Okay, so let's line this right up with the camera. And again, you can use this either way. You just have to push it down. You can just spin it around thanks to that multi-point contact. You can see that 63% battery. And yeah, that is how you're going to be able to use this. You can obviously turn it on right on the side. You can hear it powering on. Let me go ahead and get this through setup, and we will be right back. So we got everything paired. It took about 2 minutes, and as you can see, the next step is to view the quick start guide, and it's showing you exactly how the magnetic attachments work, like we just showed you. The camera button on the actual action cam itself. It says press and hold to power on or off, press once to take photos or record, or enable. Let's see what else it says here. Multifunction vision dock, press and hold to power on or off, press once to take photos or to record, double press to switch modes. Touchscreen operations, tap or swipe on the screen to operate. And the covers, open cover at bottom of multifunction vision dock. Nothing much to that. That is where you will find the micro SD card slot, which brings me to my next point. Unlike some other cameras, like even the Insta360 Go, Ultra, 3S, any of those, these do have expandable storage. So if you buy the less expensive one, the 64 gig, you can still expand more storage, unlike on these other devices where you're locked into the 128 or whatever you paid for at time of purchase. And then export UHS U3 micro SD card is what's recommended for exports. Close out of that, and you can see we are live. It's showing you to swipe left or right to change shooting modes. And you have video, photo, slow motion, time lapse, it looks like. Just keep it in video for now. Swipe up from edge to set shooting parameters. And this is where you're going to want to pick your degree of angles. If you want wide angle, tap to enable pre-record or loop recording. So for resolution, let's go ahead and change this to 4K, 16:9, and 30 frames per second. And again, rock steady is on if you'd like to keep that in, horizon balancing, and then you have options for ultra wide, de-warp, and wide angle. So about everything is similar if you're familiar with DJI's other products, even the Osmos Pockets and all of those. Mobile is now the same way. So we'll leave rock steady on, standard, no de-warp needed. Swipe down to get rid of that. And now here's where all your settings are, right here. So you have all your settings, always on display, screen off when recording, timer shooting, built-in mic, backup, underwater color correction, and then obviously you have your profiles, customizing the buttons, and everything else, voice recording as well if you so wish, to actually enable voice controls. And then tap to adjust image and audio parameters. You have all of that right here. Image adjust is one of the big ones for noise reduction on DJI cameras. I like going to -2 here just to help. And then you have stabilized scenes, daily, sport, and it tells you what each of those are good for. We'll leave it at daily for now. And we'll swipe off of that. And then you can check your battery level. When camera is powered on, indicator briefly blinks yellow if battery level is below 20%. So yeah, looks pretty good. I'm excited to put this to the test. You can see the green LED light here. And again, whenever you want, you can detach it and you have a remote viewfinder. Very neat to see. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, we'll have all the video quality comparisons coming out in the near future. You can see the size difference and how it kind of looks. totally different take on these devices. But if you are a fan of how small the Instago 3S is, you can see it does have much smaller footprint than the DJI does. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.